Hello and welcome to a video. So did you know that certain degrees relate to certain personalities in people? That's right, today we're going to be talking about red flags in people and whether or not they'd make good partners based on their university degree. Now, I must add that this is all based on my experience and is somewhat satirical, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. And if you're a young buck watching this and your girlfriend studies one of these degrees, don't go and break up with her. I'm speaking generally here, and there are obviously anomalies in this situation. This is just what I've experienced. So, first degree we're going to talk about is law. From what I've met from people that study this degree, this is their train of thought when figuring out which degree they're going to study. Well, I'm good at arguing, so maybe I could become a lawyer. 9 times out of 10, that is what the person thought before going into a law degree. So, what that means is they're going to be more inclined to want to pick up an argument because they know they can win. So because of that inclination, there's going to be a lot more arguments in your relationship over small things that might not mean that much or actually need to be argued about. Secondly, they're going to be good with their words, right? So that means they're going to be able to make you feel bad about certain things when you do things that annoy them. So I think this is a relationship where you got to err on the side of caution, and because of that, I'm going to put it in no go. Did you also know that law has the highest degree of psychopathy rates over any profession? Interesting, right? So, all in all, I'd say stay clear of it, fellas. Next up, we have psychology. Now, most people study psychology, from what I've gathered from my experience, is because they want to figure out what is wrong with themselves. And I think, if you're already kind of busy, you don't really need a girlfriend who is already quite neurotic and going to overanalyze every single situation. Obviously, you don't have to believe what I'm saying. Obviously, just because someone has a inclination to be rather neurotic or to speak simply poor mental health doesn't mean you shouldn't date them, right? What I'm saying is that if you did go into a relationship and figure out they had, massive fluctuations in their emotions or dysregulated emotions, don't come calling to me saying, hey man, why is this happening? I told you, bro. Next up we have engineering, and chances are if this is a girl studying engineering, she doesn't like guys anyway, and it's going to be pretty hard for you to get her to break up with her girlfriend, so I'll just stay clear of that one. And then we have nursing. A nursing degree is pretty tricky, to be honest, because it's twofold. On the one hand, the girl is an absolute angel, the mercies of the world. They're caring, kind, and will look after you very well, and you won't have to think twice about whether or not you're in the right relationship. On the other hand, the absolute vipers, and people that I've met that have gone into nursing are. And it's quite scary to think, however, because of those two routes it can go down, I think it's worth a roll of the dice. So I'll put that in green category. Nursing goes in green category. Next up, we have gender studies. Now, if you're a dude and your girlfriend studies gender studies, there is an absolute 100% chance she hates your ass. And also, if you're white as well, she hates your ass. If you're another race, you might get like a 50% discount on how much she hates you. But I don't know, me personally, I would never date someone that hates my guts. So yeah, I'll also put gender studies in red flag. Next up, we have teaching. Now, from the people that I've met who have done teaching, they've been absolutely lovely. They probably like children or like being around children or are good with children. So if later down the track you did want to have kids or you have kids yourself, I think that's a good bet. Next up we have computer studies. So I don't know if any girls actually do computer science, but from what I think, they're going to be quite analytical. They're going to be maybe slightly more introverted. So if you're an extroverted party goer who likes getting fucked up, man, maybe a computer science girlfriend isn't for you. However, if you're a little nerd who likes watching Overwatch gameplays like this of Zenyatta absolutely killing it, then a computer science girlfriend might be the right ticket for you. As you know, there's not going to be too much of a disconnect in the things that you like and enjoy. And also, sorry for the kind of like clickbait title, but I'm not saying you shouldn't date people that are like this or have these degrees. I'm just saying that this is from my experience and like one statistic around a law degree that I can base this off. Just because someone fits in this category doesn't mean you can generalize them or their behavior, or you shouldn't break up with them just because they studied this degree or see them in a different light just because they studied this degree. All I'm saying is if you do date someone that studies this degree and what I said actually happens, don't come crying to me being like, oh, free the bonsai, why didn't you tell me about this? because that ain't my fault. So that was my somewhat satirical video on college degrees and red flags in relationships. If you did like it, please like and comment down below. If you hated it, please comment down below. And if you have any degrees that you think are a major red flag, please let me know in the comments. Ka kite. Peace.